Obviously, as I said before, there's been a lot of speculation around the costs outside, and as you rightly pointed out, the Foreign Secretary previously, and indeed I said it's not normal to provide the costings, but in this case we have decided to, for the benefits of transparency on this deal, and particularly because of some of the misleading commentary that was going on around them. The government green book methodology has been used over all of this, and if the committee wants, I can take you through the very complex arguments behind it, but essentially it averages out at 101 million per year. That is based on there being different payments in different years, and then that averaging out across the costs. Obviously, a pound today is worth more than a pound in the future. And that's because obviously money can earn interest or be invested, and prices generally rise over time. So 101 million paid now or in 50 or 99 years is not the same value. And so the standard government methodology on long-term investments has been used, and that comes up with a long-term figure of 3.4 billion in today's money. So that is the accurate figure that's been verified by the Actuaries Department. There is a very, very detailed explanation of all of this in the documentation. I'm obviously very happy to provide the committee with that further information in writing, but I don't know if Paul had anything addition to add on that.
But leaving aside over the 99-year period, I mean, the treaty itself describes that there will be, for the first 3 years, £165 million a year for the base, before we get on to the others. It also says that's going to come from FCDO and from MOD. Can you give more detail as to who is going to meet the cost of this?
So there will be a share between the two departments, but I'm not able to give that at this stage. But we're happy to provide, as I said, the full details of the costings, how they've been determined, and how those will be sort of done over the different years to the committee, if that's helpful. But Peter, I don't know if you had any more.
There's not a lot more to say other than in calculating the net present value, it is precisely the process as set out in the Green Book. So the real value is calculated using the OBR forecasts, which are set out in the annual reports, and then it has a social time discount value, which again changes over time, but it's all as is set out in the Green Book. So the methodology is precisely the same as the government uses for long-term programme costings, and it's used essentially to provide accurate comparisons, so you can compare the utility of this investment versus other ones across the whole range of government activities. So it is really quite the standard way of calculating things.
And you're not able to say how it's divided between the two departments. The defence proportion, will that be counted towards the 2.6 target for expenditure on defence?
Very, very happy to set all that out in writing to the committee. But what I will say is that when you make that comparison, even if Ministry of Defence was paying the full amount here, which it isn't, it's just a fraction of 1% of the total annual defence budget. So, and as I said, one thing here that we've got to remember is that it is the value to us of this facility is, as I said, quite frankly, priceless. But it's certainly significant multiples of the investment that's put in.